Mic check, 1, 2. Yes, yeah, yes. It's going on, people. Got this hump day thing going. Yeah, buddy. There we go. What's up, y'all? I said hump day, and on my kids, that was yesterday. This is hump day part 2. Thursday. Thursday throat. Let me stop acting stupid, man. Let me stop acting a fool. What's going on though with y'all, man? It's 60 something degrees, and if you know Wisconsin weather, sheesh, that's like you damn near be out here in a bikini or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Wisconsin, we be 0, 20, 30. It get 40 degrees. EB in the building. What's going on, my brother? Me and Evie was making a hit yesterday, I promise. What's good with you, cuzzos? You already know we on what you call it, the second I hop off of here, bro. You already know. And I got a key card for building 21, cuz. So we gotta go back in. I went in there the first time I was a little green. Shout out to my Call of Duty squad, man. Getting it in on the PS5, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got a good one today, dude. I was gonna do this one for y'all today where this girl said she don't believe in paying her own rent. Like some old dumb shit, man. So I was gonna do that, but I was like, nah. I was just looking at it, but I'm like, nah, we gonna skip over that. It was a little bit crazy. I would have showed it to y'all, but I was like, I'm gonna save that one. I save it for tomorrow. We'll check it out tomorrow. Y'all gonna trip, right? But I noticed something, and my mom was a teacher for 25 years, and I noticed these kids now, man, they fighting these teachers, dude. And I'm talking about not like yo young hip cool teacher. They beating up like Mr. Feeney. Y'all ever used to watch Boy Meets World? And y'all remember Mr. Feeney off of there? They out here whooping on Mr. Feeney. It be like a elderly teacher. They'll beat up on him and stuff like that, starting fights with him. And it been going on a lot, dude. I think it's just something about, some of these kids, they going through some mental problems. Annette say that was her favorite show. What's going on with you, Annette? Annette at the food truck right now grabbing my steak and shrimp from the Benihana food truck. You know what I'm saying? Uh Hold on, let me see. Hold on. This my homeboy. He just called me through Facebook. I wish he would have and this my guy. He got a little thing he be doing. He do a lot of content creation too. I be trying to get him to work with me. I'm gonna tell him I'm live right now. I'm live right. Let me see. Dada, what's going on? Man, I'm live right now on my YouTube. What's going on, man? When you gotta come through?
Your live people can't hear me, right?
Yeah, they could hear you right now.
Okay, yeah. I don't think you want them to hear me, so.
Okay. Well, just send me the message then. Send it to the messenger
Yeah,
then.
I'm gonna send it to the messenger.
All right, for sure. Yeah, no, that wasn't one that y'all could partake in. You know what I'm saying? Life moment y'all could partake in. But nah, it's all good though. Um, Notice these teachers fighting these students, right? And so I wanted to look at that because it's looking like it's finna be the norm. But I'm gonna tell you something that's even more crazy. Did y'all know the teachers can't defend themselves? Like the student could be whooping you, pop, pop, ta, 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 stop, and you supposed to just stand down, man. I don't want nobody in my family teaching. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want nobody in my family teaching. My mama talking about Sean. I should go back to being a substitute teacher. Let me see. Is it past, yeah, where I could cuss? This what I said. Mama, you not finna get whooped by one of these students because they'll whoop you, like they'll square up with you. Da da da. And I ain't finna watch no video on World Star or my mom just catching blows. Da da da. Nah, we ain't finna do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Protect your mama from these public school kids. And then speaking of protecting the kids and speaking of protecting the mamas, the mama in this other clip, she bogus because they got custody of their kid, they 4-year-old. They lost custody of the 4-year-old. They get custody back of the 4-year-old. Then guess what they do? They unalive YouTube. You got to use the YouTube term. They unalived their own 4-year-old, man. So that situation was bogus, and we gonna look into it. And then the last one is kind of a little bit of a, I ain't even gonna say it's a slippery slope, because it was a Marine versus a homeless dude. Now the homeless dude could have had PTSD and the Marine could have had PTSD. So in the byline I put PTSD versus PTSD, like question mark, exclamation point, because we gonna look into it and I'm gonna let you decide, you know what I'm saying? But both of them could have had some form of PTSD. One of them going through some mental stuff, and the other one is, he was young. The Marine was young, but that could be a thing. He fresh from over there, and he seeing a bunch of stuff like that. Made fresh in the build and moderation gang thick. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we gonna look into that, dude. We gotta look at it from all angles, be a little bit objective about the thing. You know what I'm saying? But I know what we gonna do. We gonna get this thing cracking right away. I'm gonna do my analytics, you know what I'm saying? Let the world know that, we done activated our little corner of the web and we finna get it smoking in here, you know what I'm saying, with some good topics. So, yeah, I'm gonna go take care of that and we gonna be right back. He said, brothers gonna work it out, moderation gang. Hey, fresh, you a fool, bro. But hell yeah. We back at it, y'all. So y'all know what the hell going on. Mac World Live at 5. Let's go. know what it is, man. Your boy Mac. Mac, we're live at 5. A lot of people been asking, you know, if I still do the show. Cause I had the 1 o'clock time slot. We just switched it up. But we here, live at 5, you know what I'm saying? So, let's get into it. Mac World, live at 5, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Alright, so I told y'all, first and foremost, man, we gotta deal with these teachers getting beat up. My mom was a teacher for a second, and it's just crazy how back in the days it used to be even to where the teachers could they could sometimes put their hands on you at certain schools, though, not like public schools or nothing like that, but like used to have a private school, they'll put their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? Pun intended, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause it'd be like them nuns. We went to I went to a Catholic school, and the teacher wasn't putting his hands on us, but dude, they'll choke you up though. The teachers will grab you up though in there, you know what I'm saying? I guess they say they doing the Lord's work. But let's check out what's going on. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. Let's go.
A couple of months ago, I brought this story here to you about 2 incidents at the same school in Rockdale County, Georgia. There was an incident where a male student was fighting and he wouldn't listen to the teachers who tried to break it up and stop. So one teacher, who was also the athletic director, stepped in to break up the fight and ended up slamming the boy on the ground,
to get coach
knocking him
involved.
unconscious.
A teacher lost his job after he body slammed a student while trying to prevent a fight. And it was caught on video like so many other school fights. That teacher is now facing simple assault charges.
The man in the blue hoodie holding that student back is a coach at the school. He tried to stop
Big grizzly coach had to come over there. Y'all break it up.
When the athletic
break this shit up.
Center, who was also a teacher here, saw this happening, he grabbed
Lean
the
on
student
me.
who was out of control and slammed him to the floor. That body slam got him fired, and now Rockdale County deputies have charged him with simple.
Dog, what was Mr. Chef, bro? Mr. Chef was our gym teacher name. Mr. Chef he never wore pants. Dog had like some motherfucking, man, some of them Stairmaster legs and shit, and dog never wore pants. He said even on his wedding day, like his wedding slacks or whatever, he took him and cut him into some shorts. Dog was insane with a big ass mustache, you know what I'm saying? Like he was nuts, bro. But nah, you can't do no lean on me shit no more, you know what I'm saying? That shit out the window. Don't try to be no hero with these kids, you know what I'm saying? You'll end up catching the case. Don't try to go above, beyond, do nothing extra, you know? He said no pants but like an athletic sweater up top. Yeah, dog, like a parka. Hey, you stupid, because it'd be wide at the bottom. Bro, you a fucking idiot, dog.
We tried contacting him all day Wednesday to get his side of the story, but never got a hold of him.
That teacher was arrested and let go from the school. Then days after that video went around, another video was released of a female student getting in the face of a female teacher trying to fight that teacher in class.
Everybody got their phones
it's the same
out,
school. Heritage High in Rockdale County, Georgia. The student started swinging on the teacher, and the teacher did not defend herself because in this school district, teachers are instructed to wait on help from administrators or security. Well, that's what she did. And Miss Turner here, that's a teacher, she ended up having to be wheeled out of the school on a stretcher. Unfortunately, she was injured because of an out-of-control 15-year-old girl. The teacher ended up having to go into surgery for her leg a couple of weeks later. And now we have an update on that teacher. We're going to get into all that, but first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Shout out to Conyers, Rockdale County, Georgia.
Rockdale County to a year behind bars after a brutal attack on a teacher. Video of the incident quickly went viral at the end of January, and this afternoon, that teacher is speaking only with Fox 5's Rob Durienzo. And Rob, you found out today that this teacher still has a long road to recovery.
Yeah, that's right, Christine. Well, the teacher still has to rely on crutches as to get around. She's been out of work since the 15-year-old girl Tonight, for the first time, that teacher is publicly sharing her story. Jaw-dropping video filmed by students at Heritage High School shows the seconds that changed Tawana Turner's life and nearly ended her 27-year teaching career.
I was in the hospital 6 days, and the numbness was there all 6 days.
Other teachers had to rip the 15-year-old girl off of her. Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of you getting your ass whooped? That's what he was. Oh, what? You know that's what he wanted to say. Dude said, have you seen the video? Like, he wanted to say, have you seen the video of you getting whooped? Like, dude, it look bad, you know?
Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
What was that like watching that?
That ain't funny, I'm sorry.
I was amazed at how I
shit.
held off. I just couldn't believe that I was able to hold myself off like that, you know, and not react.
Hold on. She said she wasn't believe. She said she couldn't believe she held herself off, so she giving herself points for patience. Man, that means she got with your ass. You know what I'm saying? She got with. She said, I can't believe I just held myself off. Nah, she got with you. But I know I'm talking shit, but nah, the girl, you know, she had the advantage because the teacher would have did something, she would have got fucked up. You see what they said? The other teacher was facing charges, the gym teacher.
Turner says God spoke to her in those moments. After the adrenaline subsided,
The pain hit me, and I was like, my leg, you know, I can't move my leg.
the Rockdale County District Attorney's Office tells Fox 5 that the 15-year-old girl pleaded guilty to aggravated battery against a teacher, which is a felony. Last week, a judge sentenced her to a year in the youth detention center, followed by 5 years of supervised release. What allegedly caused the girl to go off when Turner tried to take her phone.
These cell phones, they're able to bring them to school. It's becoming a huge issue. This is like their livelihood. You take it away, and some of them go berserk.
Turner says she's still in physical therapy
she
and
got
can't
her
even
ass
drive.
whooped
She
into
says worse than the
her,
physical
like, look, her
pain,
age,
the emotional
dude.
pain of sitting home away from her students.
What am I trying to
Can
say?
you ever see yourself
He
stepping
got
foot
whooped
into a classroom
a
as a
couple
teacher
years
ever
older.
again?
Yes. You know, that situation was an isolated situation.
She says after the video went viral, people from around the world reached out to her to express their support.
People who don't know me have reached out to me, have helped me, are praying for me.
It ain't funny. Y'all need to.
That
need
that
to
kind
chill.
of treatment that holds you up when you fall.
You got angels on your side.
I'm telling you, I don't take any of it for granted.
Where was the angel
Turner
when
tells
you
me
was
if she could
shooting
go
in
back
the
to teaching
gym?
tomorrow,
I'm
she
just
would.
talking.
So all of this started over
Oh,
a cell
my God.
phone. Miss Turner confiscated the 15-year-old girl's phone, just like the substitute teacher in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
I was wondering. Okay, do y'all remember this incident right here with these two, with the teacher, the thick teacher who cheeks was out, who cheeks start clapping during the fight, clap, clap, clap. It all started over a phone, and I was wondering, just looking at the other incident when how the girl was in her face, if it started over a phone. What's up with people getting in people's personal space, man? My advice, you know what I'm saying? Soon as somebody come within what's your arm reach? Soon as somebody come within your arm reach, no matter what it's for, I don't even care if it ain't. They ain't even saying that. Just hit them. Just hit them with your prayers, of course, YouTube.
Remember Miss Steele? She also confiscated the 15-year-old girl's phone in her class, and the girl jumped up in her face. You can find the links below to that
Get
story.
out my
if you missed
personal
it.
space. Get out my
In
arm
both
lift.
scenarios, you had these little 15-year-old girls
Right in
angry
their
about their
face.
cell phones, jumping in grown women's spaces. In the North Carolina scenario with Miss Steele, she ended up arrested. And
Give me
Miss
that,
Turner in
one sauce, the
Georgia,
other
she
sauce.
ended up in the hospital,
No, which-
still recovering.
not
She's
that
on a
one, the other.
walker. Just horrible. I feel bad for both of these women, especially Miss Turner. Over 27 years in the Georgia school system. She dedicated her life to teaching Black children at this troubled high school. From my understanding, when that incident happened, she wasn't even in her classroom. She was stepping in the class to fill in for another teacher. You know, that's very common in the schools, especially with all of the shortages. Right now, her GoFundMe is at over $29,000, and she gave an update less than a week ago. She said, "Hi everyone, I am truly thankful for all of you sewing into my life. I am on the mend, and though the process takes time, I'm moving forward. I love each and every one of you." I'm happy to see Miss Turner is still moving, hoping that she can make a full recovery by the next school year. And I believe the school should be doing something for her as well. The principal over there is Miss Latanya Richards. Not sure what she's doing to tackle these issues. The other scenario at the school where they fired the man who slammed the student on the ground, that shows you that if you defend yourself, they're going to get rid of you. So they would rather teachers get injured like this. For that, I believe they should get a lawyer.
Let me get a real
As for the girl in the situation, she was sentenced to 1 year in jail and a couple of years on probation. I don't know. She didn't jump on a pier. This is an authority figure, her teacher. I think when they let her out, she shouldn't be allowed to physically come back to any campus in Georgia, make her do virtual school or something, and make her mama watch her until she turns 18. Listen, people are tired of dealing with your disrespectful kids.
Amen.
They need to start ordering them to stay home with their mama and let them drive her crazy. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about all of this below.
Waiting on Drake to show up.
Special thank you to Robert P. I appreciate you for all of your support, as well as Nathaniel. He and his girlfriend recently got engaged. She was the one who put
Mom's ain't where mom's at. Mom's waiting on Drake to make one phone call and get you in Vogue. You waiting on the rapper to. Hey, they be having like a princess story that, or idea, like a Disney princess story. Instead of the prince though, it'd be a rapper that they think gonna come save them from like washing floors and all that shit, like the wicked step sister or whatever. They be thinking it's gonna be like Drake gonna come along and shit and save them and flute them out, and that's gonna change their life.
Put him on this channel. So shout out to Nathaniel and his fiance. And thank you to our brother Dark Power. I appreciate you as well for always supporting the channel. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy to see the shit that go on with these teachers, right? Because on the one hand, like I told y'all, my mom was a teacher for 25 years. But you know what my mom did? My mom taught, what is it? What do they call it now? What's the correct word for it? Like the kids that are, you know, like special. She taught like the special needs. My mom taught special needs kids, you know what I'm saying? So they are actually better than some of these regular kids are the ones that really who really got the special needs, you know what I'm saying? And some of the special needs kids is some good people, man. They just born genetic, you know what I'm saying? They got some genetic things going on. That's my term for it. Like when I see somebody and they got something, I don't know what it's called, and I don't know what I don't want to get canceled, so I just be like, they genetic, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of people born that way, but some of these kids out here that's fighting their teachers, man, they the worst, dude. They the ones that really need to be monitored and, you know, given a damn crayon all day and just sat somewhere. You know what I mean? But I will say this though. Always start at home. It's usually always something going on at home. It ain't like kids just jump up and they do some shit, right? And so this is where it originates from, situations like this.
Judah's foster family says his death should have never happened. They say DCS failed him.
They just simply didn't do their job. They didn't do what they were supposed to. They didn't
and these is his real
parents.
They
would have seen the red flags.
As candles burned, tributes were paid to 4-year-old Judah Morgan. Loved ones held justice for Judah signs as community members stood together in support.
He was sweet. He was loving, caring, very caring.
Judah was placed with his cousin Jenna Hollett at 4 months old following abuse allegations within his home.
Judah was born with a large amount of THC in the system, from my understanding. And like I said, I wanted him with family.
What?
Damn. I believe that means that the mother was abusing drugs while he was inside.
Yeah.
THC specifically.
Like, so.
Yeah.
They said the mom.
Actually, I'm not unaware of this. But maybe you could fill me in.
A large amount.
Right. I'm unaware of this.
Yeah, so they said the mom had a large amount of THC. So you know what I was thinking? I was thinking because they said it was a large amount and she got a baby, I don't think she was just smoking like that. I think the mama was eating edibles, you know what I'm saying, while she was pregnant, and probably eating a lot of edibles too. You know what I mean? I think that's what was the large amount of THC that she had. Let's go.
You can fill me in. If you are pregnant, what are the effects of weed on a child inside the womb? Is it like bad?
Well, it's growth. It can stun, even in a teenager, it's not good because it can stun your growth. It can modify your brain and stuff like that. So that's not good.
That's why it's not given to kids.
Yeah, that's why it's not good, right? And that's why it's very controversial in some instances to give it to kids. But also, it can help kids with seizure and stuff like that. So sometimes it depends on what the medication.
That's in a medical sense.
In a medical sense, exactly.
But in every other sense, yeah.
Yeah, but if you have a large amount of and the kid has nothing, it can affect it. You know what I mean? So,
all right.
Yeah.
Judah was with her for 4 years, but was reunited with his birth parents, Mary Yoder and Alan Morgan, in April. They're both charged in his death after Judah was found with blunt force trauma Sunday.
What made the
Blunt force trauma? That means they smashed him until he passed. That's what that means. Either they threw him or smashed him, but that's what that means.
system give him back to his parents?
Long story short, they dropped the ball. I mean, they told me on 2 separate occasions, the Loport County regional manager had told me that they were to file termination of parental rights on 2 different occasions, and for some unknown reason they failed to do so, and all he could do was apologize, and he said they just had to start the case over.
According to the police report, Judah's mother called 911 stating Judah's father lost his temper and hurt him. Investigators found Judah inside a bedroom naked, covered in a blanket with bruises all over his body and on his face and head.
What the hell?
His mother told investigators Judah was sent to the basement around 3 times a week for punishment for not being potty trained like his other 3 siblings in the house. The lights were purposely shut off as a, quote, scare tactic, and food was withheld from him.
What do these people be thinking,
The
man?
report
What type
also
of
shows
shit?
Judah's mother said Judah was forced to stay in the basement naked with only a fuzzy blanket for days before being allowed back upstairs, and that his father would duct tape his hands and feet and physically abuse him. Hollett describes Judah's parents as monsters for what they did.
That's the hardest part. It's hard for him to be gone, but the details are eating at me.
The police report states Judah's mother would tell his father things like, that's enough, but didn't stop the abuse. Conditions inside were described as having a strong, pungent odor of urine and rotting food, with clothing, garbage, and animal fecal matter all over the house. The refrigerator had a cord attached, preventing anyone from opening it, according to the documents.
This is an addict's home.
Yes.
This is an addict's home.
Yes. 100%.
You have people with all kinds of traumas, using all kinds of substances, with kids who are already like negatively impacted by their. This is a recipe for disaster.
So what happened is that the services released the child into the family without looking at the house.
So originally the kid was with the family, very young, but they found signs of
so they took
bad behavior, so they took him away, put him with someone else, and then they returned the child.
I understood that. Yep. Right. When they returned the child, they didn't check. You gotta check.
No, you don't. Apparently.
No, you don't. Apparently. So,
I like the mother just being like, the father was the one who did it.
Bless you.
I'm
a firm believer that there's some people that couldn't have kids and they make some of the best parents. some people that never had kids all their life make some of the most easiest people to talk to and communicate with, you know, because they can relate to those younger people or whatever. But then there's some people that have a bunch of kids and they shouldn't even have no damn kids. They shouldn't have kids at all. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense, man. It's like the world is backwards like that. I don't know. Let's go.
I ain't got much to say about this. To be honest with you, there's not much to say about this. Give him the chair and stop the chair when they're about to die, and repeat until they finish suffering and they die from that. That would be my take. And I know it's pretty harsh to do and inhuman, but I don't really care. That's what they deserve. They deserve to suffer as much as that kid suffered. That's my take.
Personally, I don't think the chair. I mean, that's the whole argument. What's better, the chair or, you know, living the long lives in prison with all that? That is an image for suffering a long ass time. I just want them motherfuckers to suffer. That's me. I don't really have sympathy for that. You can't have the child. They be giving back to you, and then that happened. Yeah, you're an addict.
Hollett says she warned DCS multiple times that he was in harm's way, but nothing was done.
She repeatedly told me, you know, they're not listening. I keep going to them. I'm telling them what's happening. They're not listening. I don't know what to do.
The family says the system horrifically mishandled their case.
You need to
Why do that happen so much, though?
Never again.
Right.
It should have never happened with Judah.
Kids in the system.
He was safe.
End up getting checked. They're still getting abused and shit like that.
Taken care of with us.
The family is hoping to establish a new law in Judah's name. In the meantime, they encourage.
Annette say they should give people a limit on how many kids they can have if they on assistance. Because if you have 12 kids, still no job, and you constantly have child welfare in your business, you don't need to have kids. Yeah. No, you over there. I caught, man, folks that gotta be tripping. I be saying this human trafficking when you just want to have just kids and shit you can't take care of, using them kids for benefits.
Encourage the community to email local legislators and senators with their concerns about the foster care system.
Like I said, I think it's a systemic issue. Yeah. That's my suspicion.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: there's always differences. There's sometimes. Other times there's just laws in place or bylaws in place where they can't do anything, their hands are tied. And if they were, they would be acting illegally, and then they would be jailed for intervening. Yep. So it's a tough situation. But it's like that systems like that are in place, and a lot of people aren't aware that like the foster care system can be terrible. Like the places that you get put into can be terrible. But sometimes your original living situation is even worse.
Yeah, so I've known somebody in foster care.
Solutions to this.
Shit.
It does. It's a weird thing to say. It does warm my heart to see that this woman cared so deeply that she's going this far and she's trying to change laws to do everything to honor that boy. And I think if everyone is born into a family with half as much interest and care for the child as this woman had, I think a lot of us would end up in much better places.
It's not weird. It's not weird. I understand that it warms you. Using the term "it warms your heart" in a situation like this might be weird, but no, it's good. It's really good that there's someone out there that cares with that fucking system. Yeah. So no, it's not. It's absolutely not weird to say it warms your heart that lady cares that much, right? It's just the whole construct of this. It warms.
I don't think it's really like nobody that didn't get nowhere in life without getting like some type of help from another person. You know what I mean? Everybody say when you ask people, everybody say like, oh yeah, I did it myself, I did this. Yeah, you took the help somebody gave you, the knowledge somebody gave you, the help somebody gave you, the finances somebody might have gave you, and did it yourself. But nobody is just an island. Like the saying say, no man is an island. Like you ain't just out here just doing shit by yourself. And they say my aunt was a foster mother and she was awesome, but she had the education and means to take care of them. This is so sad. Yep. That's the thing. And that's a good point that you make, because some people, like, nobody can stop you from laying down physically and letting somebody, you know what I'm saying, inject you with their genetic material and you popping the kid out. Nobody can stop you from making that decision. You know what I mean? But those people that do that and that make a habit of just doing it willy-nilly and freely, you know what I'm saying? They ain't the best parents. They ain't the people that got the finances and the logistics and everything and the knowledge and even the love to give to the kids. You know what I'm saying? How much love can you have for your kids after you just have so many and so many and so many? You know what I mean? And maybe you do love all your kids, but I would say you got a responsibility to your kids to be able to have the means to take care of them if you really love them as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where I'm at with it, man. I don't know, but let's go.
Warms my heart. This little boy dies, and she. No, I understand, but no, it's normal that. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah, and you're right.
So that's it for today's video. But is there anything else you want to say?
Nah, shit is nuts. Like, shout out to Abin and Preachman. I like their channel. They got a lot of shit on there. They mix it up. They do like one-offs and shit. You know, I try to cover like 3 different topics, but they usually have something different, but a nice little variety on there. And so yeah, I'm gonna say, and I try to link my topics together, and I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna link this to my next one, because what you see with what's going on with a lot of these parents, quote unquote, is mental issues, dude. It's a lot of mental disorders that leads you to like that result in like promiscuous behavior and shit like that. So you shouldn't up having unprotected sex, and you just say you get with another mental that ain't the word I'm trying to use. Like another person with that need mental health help, and y'all get together and y'all just y'all having all these kids, right? It's like people go undiagnosed, and a lot of times, I think what make a lot of people go undiagnosed is this thing like society don't want to deal with the implications of what you might need, what it might take to help you, and what are stuff might come along with it. Like, so for example, with her, you got a mother that need mental help, but she got 4 kids too. So if y'all do give her help, that means there's 4 kids that gotta be taken care of. So they, with all these tight budgets and all that and objectives behind the scenes by like Child Protective Services to don't remove so many kids, we don't have the budget and like shit like that. They going looking at these kids, checking behind their ears and seeing if it's dirt behind their ears, and letting their ass go back with their abusive parents. They ain't doing no type of checks and shit. So the thing is, society as a whole don't want to deal with a lot of things that involve mental health. And so these people just end up out here in the world. And you got a lot of situations as a result of that. Let's go.
A major development in the death of a man put into a chokehold on the subway. The medical examiner's office now ruling it a homicide.
And there is growing outrage that the former Marine who was questioned has not been charged. CBS 2's Allie Bauman live at the train station in Soho tonight. Allie.
Maurice and Christine, the 24-year-old Marine veteran who put the victim in a chokehold on Monday, was questioned by police and released that same night. Even though the medical examiner has now determined it was the chokehold that killed him, we're told the Marine is not in police custody tonight, but the district attorney is investigating. A group gathered in anger Wednesday inside the East Houston and Lafayette subway station, where 30-year-old Jordan Neely was choked to death on the subway 2 days prior.
I want y'all to look at that picture right there. If y'all see it, it's a guy in a brown shirt, and he got him in the chokehold. And there's somebody else holding his arms down. They said it was 2 other people, like, holding his arms down. So, and you see it's a white dude. They never said what he did. They never said, you know what I'm saying, what he did. He like a Michael Jackson street performer or something like that. But y'all see that though. Y'all see they working together. Like, man, when you see, man, let me let them finish showing this. I'm gonna talk about it in a second.
prior.
Our life was essentially taken away. Someone who's homeless, struggling with mental health.
One witness said Neely had been panhandling and shouting on the train, but the witness said it did not appear this man, who seemed to be suffering from some kind of mental disturbance, was seeking to assault anyone. The 24-year-old Marine can be seen holding Neely in a chokehold for nearly 3 minutes, while 2 other passengers helped to restrain his arms.
All 3 of those people who held him should be arrested. A proper investigation should be conducted. The man who choked him to death should be charged with murder.
According to the Marine Corps, the man who sources say put Neely in a chokehold is a decorated veteran Marine sergeant who separated from service 2 years ago. Neely was a subway busker and Michael Jackson impersonator with more than 40 prior arrests and an active warrant out for his arrest from a felony assault. Homeless advocates argue none of that justifies his death.
Again, it's horrible that something had to go to this extent, this tragic loss of life, to underscore that this approach of treating people as dangerous or as a threat just because they're in need has to stop.
A spokesman for District Attorney Alvin Bragg says the office will review the medical examiner's report, assess all available video and photo footage, identify and interview as many witnesses as possible, and obtain additional medical records.
Let's let the DA conduct his investigation with the law enforcement officials. To really interfere with that is not the right thing to do.
While there are surveillance cameras on some subway cars, we're told there were not any on this one. Governor Hochul called the incident deeply disturbing, and the Marine Corps denied to comment on the investigation. We're live in Soho.
So what y'all think about that? Because I don't know if y'all heard the part of the story where they say that they caught the dude, the dude who choked the other dude. They questioned him, but then they let him go. So why do y'all think they let him go? And of course, the first answer is he got the complexion for the protection. Of course, we all know that. But what do you think that, knowing that it was like you got a dead guy and a guy that y'all not even taking into custody, so you know it's going to require some type of explanation or something. What do y'all think? Yep, you know what? Annette hit it on the head. I was thinking it got something to do with the military background. And if it come down to it, they gonna say PTSD. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. They gonna try to say as a result of his military service. But also, when you look into the homeless guy's background, you gonna end up seeing the same type of stuff. But another thing, I don't know if y'all noticed, when they did talk about the homeless dude's background, they said he suffers from like mental health or whatever, like mental health issues. But they didn't name none of that shit. They named like his criminal record. They said he like got an active warrant and like other shit like that. And that's a lot of that stuff could be mental health incidents. Homeless people with mental health incidents got to do shit to survive. And, you know, on one hand, what I don't like is this. It's racialized. I promise it is. I tell you like this. This is why I say that. Because I could be having mental health issues as a black person, and they will use that as the reason why they couldn't restrain me. Because I was so, But if I go do something calculated, cold, sometimes as a, you know what I'm saying, mayonnaise person, they will use mental health as the reason. Like, did he, at the time when he did it, like the Vegas shooter, y'all remember the Vegas shooter? Dude had like a good federal job and shit. Like, he had money, then he goes, buys an expensive gun, rents an expensive hotel room, checks in, does all this stuff coherently. Then he start shooting randomly at a crowd of people. Now his mental health is being questioned. Like, he struggled with, you know, mental health. And like I said, I'm not saying it ain't real, but in another situation, that would have been used as the reason why we need to take them off the street, or why we couldn't bring them in alive, or like, you know what I mean? It's just different, man. They use it differently. And so I put PTSD versus PTSD, and that's really what I meant by it. And like I said, the next, she kind of hit it on the head with the military background. I had an uncle, right? And give y'all backstory before we get up out of here. I had an uncle. My dad and all my uncles all fought in the war. They all went to Vietnam, right? They all enlisted. My dad was a Marine. All his brothers was like Army, infantry, or whatever, right? They came back from the war or whatever, and my dad, he drink a lot. He didn't have like no drug problems or nothing like that, but he would drink a lot and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Traumatized, bullet wounds in his chest. He used to show me. It's like 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Shit that they been through, right? But my uncle, he was bad though. We would go over there to my cousin's house, and we would be playing around and shit, and we would be having a good time and just doing like, you know, just a lot of kid shit. Next thing you know, the lights will go out, and my uncle will come out his room, and he would have his rifle and shit, and we would lay on the ground, and we would all just lay on the ground and shit, like, because he was having an episode, man, and ain't nobody want to get hurt. Ain't nobody, you know, it was something that he was dealing with that was beyond our mental capacity to understand, and obviously our parents, they knew. Man, when he come out and he having and it could be like a family, like a barbecue or something like that, but like let a car come by bumping some music or something like that too loud or something, man, my uncle get in this mode, and any other time you'll see him, he was regular. He was, you know, he wasn't, he had a regular job, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But he get to having them episodes, man. Them folks to seen something. A lot of people to seen something. And they had you out here fucked up while you trying to function. You know what I mean? So people coming face to face with those issues in society, like a military person getting back into society, you don't know how they adapt into it. And that's as much as devil's advocate as I'm gonna play for that guy. You know what I'm saying? But it's some real shit though, and I know that because I seen that with my own 2 eyes. Now, what the guy did for a man to be choking him out that clearly ain't a officer of no kind, because he don't got no type of equipment to restrain him, and he not in no uniform. And for other people to come along and just want to take part in it and hold his arms down and shit and help the dude choke him out. I don't know about that, and I can't play devil's advocate for that situation. But I can say that the PTSD thing after coming home from military service is definitely real, and it's fucking scary. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's something we're gonna have to deal with more and more of. We got a big ass war going on right now in Ukraine, and while it's active, we're not thinking about it. It's how shit is gonna be when it's quote unquote over on both sides. Man, it's gonna be a lot of traumatized foreign white people, for lack of a better word. Look, it might. I just, man, it's gonna get crazy, dude. It's gonna be crazy with the PTSD and, you know, the refugees and all that, you know. But I wonder this, and I wonder all my international people that do international business and everything. You know how they talk about, like, you know, the saying say it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? So how do y'all think, you know, Africa was a war-torn country for a lot of time, a lot of dictators and stuff. But But now they economy is on the upswing. They got a lot of minerals. They got all that lithium that the whole world need for electronic devices. A lot of tourism going on there because they not having those wars like over in Europe and other places like that. Africa up, you know what I'm saying? African boys up, you know what I'm saying, this year, 200 points, right? So how do y'all feel? How do y'all think they're gonna react when they start getting plenty of Russian refugees? You know what I'm saying? Plenty of Ukrainian refugees and stuff like that coming to their country. Y'all think they're gonna be like, what is this shit? We don't know what's this shit. Y'all think they're gonna invite them? Because they turned even to this day, I'm gonna say this or whatever, I don't got a dog in the horse, but I'm against any fascist government and shit like that, right? So Evie say he fights students, but I'm gonna say this though, with Ukraine, they are very, very racist, you know what I'm saying? Russia is they bad, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that, but Ukrainians, they real fucking racist, you know what I mean? Even towards the black people that was helping them, they were still racist and shit. So I'm interested to see how it all play out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all checking me out. Interesting shit going on. Keep your eyes on things going on around you, moving around you, and keep your ear to the atmosphere so you know what's going on in this world. A lot of things is dictated by money. A lot of these decisions to help or not help people and who gets help and how, it's all dictated by money. You really want to know what's going on, you don't really got to be psychic. You just got to know how to follow the money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's my advice for y'all, man. I could elaborate on that a lot more, but that'll be a whole nother discussion. Just think about it like this. The crack epidemic didn't get as much assistance as the opioid epidemic, and it was for a reason, and we all know that reason, right? So I'm gonna end it like that, man. And you know what I'm saying, shout out to my moderators, shout out to EB, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Annette, my fave, shout out to Made Fresh, you know what I'm saying. We finna hop on that Call of Duty and get stupid, you know what I'm saying. Get out here in the DMZ. Gamer tag Mac the Truest on PS Network, you know what I'm saying. Check me out, and y'all know we gonna come back with another one tomorrow, man. So thanks for checking me out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you ain't subscribed, and shout out to the replay gang who watching this on the replay right now, you know what I'm saying. Y'all the real MVPs, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, until tomorrow, later y'all, I'm gone.